So, hello and a very, very warm welcome each one of you. And as we are enjoying the Premraj series, I can see every day we are having more and more people joining in and the popularity ever increasing. Today's episode is again going to be very special because we are going to get some amazing information from the world of insurance and finance and how we can secure our future and things that probably we do not pay much attention to. Vishesh is a dear friend. I have been his client. We were just talking about the testimonies we gave for him, the kind of service that he gives. And once a client is like sorted for life, because then we don't have to care about anything. He does everything for us. Talking about Power Up now. We are here at Power Up talking about these exciting topics to learn and understand and inspire each other more as much as we can. I would like to introduce the platform to you. Power Up is a bunch of exciting entrepreneurs. We are here to grow together, collaborate, co create, do business together, give each other business, meet up, try to help each other grow, and whatever it is that each one can do for the other is always the scope that is there in everybody's mind. So thank you so much each one of you for being here and letting us give you this platform to learn and also enjoy so many new topics from with Mr. Premraj. Premraj is an author and futurist speaker on leadership and management. He has spent 37 years in banking with experience in public and private sector. He was also the CEO of a BPO arm of the leading private sector bank. Premraj is the co-author of 3 books and all of them have hit the number one best-selling on Amazon. Views expressed by Premraj have been published in Economic Times, Business Standard, Financial Express, Indian Express, Mumbai Mirror, and other periodicals. Premraj hails from Mumbai and resides with his wife, son, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, and pet cat-in-law. So over to you, Premraj ji. And once again, I have to mention that I'm completely excited about this session and I'm completely thoroughly enjoying the Premraj series and the popularity that it's gaining. And a few people also asked me on Facebook chat yesterday that what is this series about and what is Power Up and can we join that? So just for the benefit of everybody, Nisha will put down the links of our, social media pages and stuff. You can get in touch with any of us. So thank you and over to you, Premraj ji.
Thank you, Jaya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We have today on the show Vishesh, who is an acclaimed financial planner. He has nearly 2 decades of experience in helping people plan their finances. Insurance selling is a cornerstone of his financial planning. Being part of the $1 million roundtable, that is a MDRT, is a coveted dream of all insurance sellers. Vishesh has been part of this exclusive club from 2017. Let us know more about insurance and financial planning from Vishesh. Vishesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jaya.
Thanks for joining.
In this present scenario, why do you feel financial planning is important?
So financial planning was always important and will always be important. But in this pandemic, we have realized it was a painful period when we have realized we have run short of liquidity. So when we were managing our portfolio, we have not prepared anything for liquidity, assuming monthly income will be coming, assuming monthly flow of money will be coming.
Right.
But that's a basic
Hello.
of any financial planning. And that's a basic of any financial planning. Plus, we have invested in long-term financial vehicle or long-term financial instrument for short-term gains. So this has badly and immediately reflected in this pandemic scenario when equity market has gone haywire. So people have, it was twin side war for people, because 20%, 10% or 30% salary was reduced, plus what they were expecting from share market, a huge wealth which was in front of eyes was depreciating. So there was a panic situation from all possible angles. They have pressed a panic button because liquidity was really a challenge in these time, and everything was closed. So if we do a financial planning properly, so we take care of all these aspects. Our mediclaim was very less. People have not done their mediclaim. They were assuming 5 lakhs in mediclaim was good for entire family of 4. But then we have realized for one person during this pandemic, 18 lakhs bill was coming for 7 days or 18 days, whenever, till the time he was hospitalized. So financial crunch was there, which has pushed people to erode their wealth and pay the medical bills or run the basic necessity of life. So financial planning would have avoided all these things, a proper financial planning.
Yes, yes, that's very true. Because in the last 6 months, in the lockdown and all the problems that we have been having, we have suddenly realized the importance of financial planning, and why is it that we need to have some money sorted away to hit for exigencies.
Precisely.
Why should insurance be an integral part of financial planning? You're an insurance champion. That's the reason I'm asking you this question.
This is the best question. So, yes, protection is the base of any financial planning. These are called leverage assets, mediclaim and life insurance. You pay very less amount of premium, but what you receive at the time when event occur is a huge amount. The insurance amount, the sum assured in case of death, that sum assured will help family to manage their standard of living till the time next generation start minting same type of money or able to manage the same type of lifestyle. Same with mediclaim. Otherwise, you have to erode your wealth or erode your financial instrument, so that your future financial goes for toss, and then you have to pay medical bills. When if you have taken mediclaim of comfortable amount by paying small premium, so that will protect your wealth, that will protect your future financial goals. So life insurance is basic necessity. We are confusing life insurance because it's a long-term investment vehicle with I don't have, I mean, the reason comes, I don't have enough money to start investing for life insurance. But all the more reasons, when you're earning money, you don't have money. Imagine a scenario in case anything happens to your life, how the family will survive. So life insurance base, when you start earning, first instrument you should be investing is in life insurance, so that your protection, the base of your financial pyramid is very strong. So tomorrow, because the base is very strong, you can take extra risk on your other financial portfolios or in your job or in your business, because the base is very strong. So life insurance is a basic necessity. It's not a luxurious. All other investments are luxurious. When tomorrow after 5 years, when things will be in good, I'll be earning more. That time the maturity will be coming of some financial instrument. So that is luxury. But what happened before 5 years if I happen to expire? How my survivors will survive? When you have less money, that time you should start investing for life insurance, because it's always a saying, when you need life insurance, no one will give you. When you don't need.
We seem to have lost the audio.
We lost audio. Yeah.
I think we seem to have lost his audio.
Sorry. So it's always a saying, when you need life insurance, no one will give you. But when you don't need life insurance, you always purchase that time. So that when you need life insurance, already there to give you that extra cushion on your financial portfolio.
Thanks for explaining this. Insurance is very, very important, and it should be an integral part of one's portfolio. When this is so, why is it that the penetration of insurance is quite low in India? When I say quite low, when I'm comparing with the Western countries. Any probable reasons you can think about?
Sorry, it was some.
You want me to repeat the question?
Technical. No. Yeah, please, if you can.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned insurance should be an integral part of one's portfolio. Then why do you feel the penetration of insurance in our country is quite low? And when I say quite low, I'm comparing it against the Western countries.
Yeah. Insurance people are not realizing the true strength of insurance. They are ignoring. So we don't recommend insurance to our relatives, to our friends. We don't talk about insurance with them. But in case of expiry of our relative or friends, first question we ask to the dependent who are jobless, uska insurance to tha na. So when we see that a risk, financial risk or responsibilities coming on our shoulders, we ask this question. But beforehand, we don't discuss life insurance policies or investment with our relatives, with our friend circle. And other thing is Indians are not able to realize the life insurance is a basic necessity. They compare it with other financial instrument, then they compare the return on investment on that. And they compare long-term investment now. Any long-term investment, we have, suppose if I need money for 25 years or 30 years, after 30 years or after 25 years, which financial instrument will I be taking? Equity is a best instrument for long-term, but we abuse that instrument. We move out within first 3 months, 6 months. AMFI report says that by 9 years, only 1% people stay invested. Rest every people, 50-75% moves out within 6 years. Oh. So with there are no penalty clause when you move out of these instruments. So people, whenever they see the appreciation of capital, they withdraw the money. Oh. When in life insurance, you are penalized. So you think that this is the last instrument when I should be investing, because when I need money, I will be penalized. But we don't realize if I need money and I withdraw it, so future financial goals will go haywire. Secondly, my insurance will go. But my insurance is the basic necessity. So I should be playing with the insurance. In India, whenever anything happens, any financial constraint happens, we first stop the premium. And that is the last thing to be done. I have seen many people withdrawing or lapsing their term plan, which is basic necessity again, because there is no return on investment. Only life insurance is there. They say, "Abhi tak to kuch hua nahi hai, aage bhi kuch hone wala nahi hai," and they lapse their life insurance, which is, I don't know that we don't have any answer for that, because we definitely can't say, "Sir, kal kuch ho gaya, to what you will do?" I mean, that's a realization they should do. But when they start comparing basic necessity with luxury, then to differentiate it is difficult for people to make them understand. Okay, life insurance is basic necessity. It's not a luxury. So don't stop life insurance to meet the luxury things. So any financial, I want to purchase a bike, so I will stop paying the premium. I will lapse the policy to divert my funds towards purchasing of bike or purchasing of vehicle or any other thing. So that's the trend we are having. So we are not able to realize the potential of life insurance in India. Probably that's why.
That's sad. That's sad. That's quite sad. We should not be lapsing our policies. You made a passing reference about term plans. Mm-hmm. When I look at it, the percentage of people who have taken term plans is not that large. Why is it that our agents are not pushing term plans when the premium amount for term plans are much, much lower than other traditional plans?
Any insurance agent will be the first person to push term plan. But so why to invest? So that's the thought process. And secondly, after paying term plan, and believe me, term plan are maximum are the only plans in any insurance agent's portfolio which get lapse. So majority of term plans are only the plans which get lapse. And to give you an example, I shouldn't be using this example, but I am from insurance industry, so this is a eye opener. Before death of Sri Devi, 17 months before, she has closed or surrendered her 20 policies. Some financial advisor came and said, okay, these policies are waste. They won't be giving you that much of money. The return on investments are less. So 20 policies were closed or surrendered 17 months before her death. So what a financial loss we are talking about. What was compared with what? So you compare apple with apple, then you can be on same platform and it will help people to compare. People are not ready to opt for term plans because they need return on investment. Because I can't foresee that I'm paying 20 years, 30 years premium without getting anything. And agent thinks I shouldn't be getting anything. He shouldn't be claiming. The claim shouldn't be coming from this policy. I'm happy if he pays premium. Why? Because if you want to avail the benefit of term plan, you have to die. So no one will think my prospect or my client should die. So that pushing probably is required, and but people are not able to realize that. People are having once in a lifetime they have taken a policy. Probably father has taken when he was young. So I have seen people in their midst of 40s saying that मेरे पास life insurance policy है, and when we check actually, so insurance is of 5 lakhs or 2 lakhs. Father ने खरीदा था. So I thought I'm having, so why I should be taking more? Now 5 lakhs probably will be his 2 months monthly expenses. So what I'm giving to my nominees, insurance policies, 2 months monthly expenses. So then we tell them, we make them aware, sir, you are in midst of 40s, you should be having term plan. Then they say, now option is there. After 20 years, I'm going to get retired. After 15 years, my child's marriage is there. Between 10 to 15 years, I'll be needing money for child's higher education. Now you tell me I should be opting for term plan or I should be investing towards these financial goals. Now our answer is still, sir, basis term plan, but the pressure of financial goals are that heavy, then that they prefer investing in some other instrument where the return on investment will be coming so that they will be able to achieve their financial goal. So term plan is ignored by and large. Well, not by agents for that matter, but by individuals.
Yeah, a couple of points that you mentioned there. One was term loans. People don't take term loans because there is no, in the end, survival benefit is not there. I think there are some new companies who have taken cognizance of this and they are offering some returns on maturity. So let's hope more companies offer this and the people will start taking term policies.
No, these are old policies. They were return of premiums are being given. So whatever you pay premium for 20 years, that comes back to you. Then the policy become a bit costly. That also people don't purchase because after 20 years, you are returning my principal amount only. When in other cases, I'll be getting interest also. So there is a loss of interest. Why should we even investing, even thinking of these instruments? So that's the answer we usually get. We prefer a person should be having term plan. The base is term plan. Without insurance, how can you go ahead with your meeting your financial goals? And when you are earning and you are at top of your career and you are feeling the financial crunch, so what will happen to the family in case any unforeseen event happen to your life? So term plan we really push, but probably that visibility or no one can understand that they will be dying early. We can't imagine that.
There's another point that you raised was about the amount of insurance coverage that people are having, minuscule coverage of 2 lakhs and 5 lakhs, which is quite inadequate. And I believe in insurance parlance that is called what, human life value or something.
Yeah.
So people need to be aware of it.
Yeah, 80 to 90% people are not adequately insured. Nowadays new trend is that 1 crore insurance I'm having. But if we see from past 5 years, we are talking of 1 crore of insurance. If you see any property around us, that will be costing 1 crore or more than that. So 1 crore and your expenses are 1,50,000 or 2 lakhs per month. So how many months 1 crore will be able to help your family to manage the same standard of living? So 1 crore is also not good, but the thought process of 1 crore is old. I am thinking of black and white times ke 1 crore is good. But actually, if you see around the expenses, the lifestyle, 1 crore is not good. So you are still inadequately insured. So you need to update your life insurance policies also.
True, true, true. Can retirement planning happen through insurance?
Definitely, yes. And for that matter, life insurance is only one of the industry which is helping you in designing your post-retirement life. So we have two type of life insurances. One which will give you tax-free income post-retirement, and there are instruments available which will give you taxable income. So if you have crossed 60 or you have retired or you are reaching 55 and you are thinking of retiring within 2 years or 5 years, then there are instruments which will be giving you lifetime pensions throughout of your life. The best part of it is these are sovereign guaranteed pensions, and this will remain same irrespective to the rate of interest applicable in normal market. To give an example, in 2001 we were giving 12.5% pension per annum, and bank FD were 13%. So people didn't opt it because bank FD was visibly high. So they were not able to foresee the future. Today, those people who invested in 13% are now enjoying 5.5% returns. But people who invested with LIC, they're still enjoying 12.5%, and they will enjoy it their last breath. Afterwards, same pension will be coming to their spouse throughout of her life, and after principal goes to next nominee. So these instruments are still available, and we are lucky that we are in this phase when we can buy annuities. If you see the developed economies like US, Japan, you can't buy annuities because rate of interest in Japan is negative. In US is 1.5%, 2%. So you can't actually buy annuities. In India, we can buy annuities. So there are options available. We can design annuities, and which will be tax free. So if you are looking, if you are in that age group above 55, then your pension will be taxable. But for youth, this is the best time to design a tax free income. And believe me, this will be the only income in their portfolio which will be tax free. Rest everything will be taxable, any sort of income. Your returns from PF, PPF, your gratuity, everything will be tax free in your saving account. But such a huge amount you won't be keeping in your saving account. You will be investing in buying annuities or FDs or post office MIS, whatever. It will become taxable. But this income which you are designing now, 15, 20 years down the line, will give you tax-free income till the time you survive. Plus insurance will be there. So any point of time person happen to expire, huge insurance amount will be coming, and wife will be getting liquid wealth. Otherwise, majority of us, our history has shown that a lot of widows are there in old age homes. The only reason, maximum reason, was husband has left the property for spouse. Now converting property into income at that age of 75, 80 is a task. And you probably they are dependent on someone to do that. And next generation wants the wealth. So they will take the wealth and push their parents in old age home. When in this way, liquid wealth is coming. So liquid wealth can be kept in FD, and they can enjoy and live on basic interest rates what is applicable at that juncture. So it's time they can invest for non-taxable pensions, or old people who are above 55 can opt for rate guaranteed rate of interest, because these rate of interest are coming down drastically. I mean, during lockdown, we have seen twice repo rates were reduced by RBI, and twice we have reduced the rate of interest of our immediate pension plans and deferred pension plans.
Okay. Insurance is a complex product to sell. There are a lot of fine prints in that, which has led to a lot of mis-selling by agents. What is it that we can do, and what should customers who are taking insurance be careful before signing on the dotted lines?
Insurance is a long-term contract, so one should be very vigilant in knowing from whom he's taking the services. And secondly, they shouldn't be going for very lucrative promises. If insurance is sold as a
Hmm.
there is something to be read between the lines. And secondly, from a financial advisor, we should expect financial advice. If we expect him to share his bread or any remuneration of his, then the economical effect on him will be he won't be able to build a robust infrastructure to serve you for longer horizon,
Hmm.
or because of economic reason he will try to missell you or give you wrong advices. In both the cases it is affecting entire environment. So we if we expect financial advice from financial advisor, that will help us in growing or designing our wealth or income. But if we start expecting remuneration, his remuneration or his bread in return of the policy, then probably there is a task. He won't be able to provide you better services for tomorrow. So you don't know, because you definitely won't be able to remember 20 years down the line what this policy you should be expecting from this policy. You won't be able to remember. So the panic situation, you will close the policy, or you will say it's a missell. You don't know whether the expected results will be coming or not. Or secondly, he himself will give you wrong advice. So we should be aware of what we are expecting from whom, and
Okay.
we should be gentle enough for that.
Let's move from insurance to a bit of overall financial planning. And this is
Sure.
for senior citizens. The
Mhm.
rates of interest are coming down. So what is it?
Yes, sir.
Can you offer some advice to senior citizens for a good amount of income that will come to them perennially?
Sure. For senior citizens, it should be very clear. 80% of their remuneration or income should be coming from long-term guaranteed funds only. Long-term, what I meant to say is throughout of their life, they don't have to touch the wealth. They need to enjoy the income only. And afterwards, same legacy of income will be coming to wife throughout of her life. And afterward, wealth goes to next generation. That is option. And 20% they should be investing in short-term instruments like post office savings, senior citizen savings scheme, or post office MIS scheme, or Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandana Yojana, or systematic withdrawal plans, or from equities where their labor is infused. But 80%, that is the basic necessity, should be guaranteed. So it is very clearly mentioned, or it is the experience says, okay, after 60, if you need wealth, that means you are giving it to next generation. If you're gonna give next generation your entire wealth, how you will survive? So you should be putting that wealth in such a mix when you can't remove the wealth. So if you see all the cases of last 2 decades or 3 decades are fought between the families, big branded, big families, is just because of wealth. I have never heard any generation gap or generation fight for income. So if I can use Mafatlal as a family, it was wealth. If I can talk about Mr. Vijaypat Singhania, it was wealth. If I talk about Reliance Group, it was wealth. But have you seen children fighting with their parents to take their income every month? Because 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, 6 months, you will be able to snatch the income from your parents. 7th month, if they raise their voice, rest life income you won't be able to touch.
True.
So try to create an income which is guaranteed, and you can't withdraw the wealth. So you'll be you will spend your life without tension and relaxed. And 20% you should be involved in getting more interest rate. Why I'm telling 20%? Because if you lose 20%, your basic necessities are taken care. 20% should be to meet your luxurious life. Because when PMC Bank closed, it was the major hit was for retired people only.
True.
To get that 1% extra or 1.5% extra, they have risked their entire wealth. So 100% was risked to get 1% extra, and now they are not able to get it back.
Yeah.
In mutual funds also in debt instruments, because financial advisor says that debt instruments are safe government security, but Kotak have stopped the debt instrument withdrawal or systematic withdrawal plan because the investments were done in companies like ILFS or Diwan Housing. So people who are getting their income via systematic withdrawal plans, now they don't have income from that source. So that was a problem during pandemic. When pandemic started initially, NAV was not moving ahead, but 1 lakh of pension or income was coming from systematic withdrawal plan. So there were a lot of clients of mine who were having sleepless nights because they were afraid if this scenario continues for a year or two, they will end up losing entire wealth because units are being sold at lesser price. So more units are being sold because instructions are clear. 1 lakh or 1,50,000 should be coming in my home every month. So if NAV is moving ahead, so less number of units are being sold. If NAV is static or going down, more number of units are getting sold. So that should be 20%. When you are using your labor, after every 5 years, you are using in post office pension, after every 5 years, you have to take a decision. And you have to decide in which instrument you have to reinvest the funds, because what 5 years back you have invested, that rate of interest are not available now. So again, you are at that road, 4 roads, which way to go. So that decision you can take till 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, you won't be able to decide. The gelling between brain and body reduces. At that juncture, if you have to decide where to get your income from to meet your basic necessities, it's very challenging situation for them. So 80% should be a guaranteed funds when you are not using your labor. You are aware these funds are going to come and these are guaranteed. This will be coming to your life throughout of your life. Later on, same to your spouse throughout of her life. So these are Jeevan Shanti or Jeevan Akshay of LIC plans, which are
Basically, you're saying
sovereign guaranteed also.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying senior citizens don't play it safe.
They should play because at 40s or mids of 30s, I can take a risk. But sooner I retire, there is no inflow of income. So I'm directly playing with my wealth. Any depreciation wealth will affect any expenses after 45, we say, will directly affect my lifestyle post-retirement after 45. And now we are talking after 60 or 58. So we should be playing with wealth. Pareto theory is good. 80% of your funds will make sure that your funds are gonna give you a guaranteed same hurdle-free income, but 20% you pay. You take a risk. You involve your merits or your brains to get that extra income to beat the inflation.
Okay. So from senior citizens, let us go to the youngest generation, generations X, Y, or Z. These millennials are ready to be leaders. What, according to you, should be the one skill they should be having to help their development?
So millennials are smart. They have developed the habit of developed the habit of collecting information from all the possible sources thanks to Google. So they are having financial knowledge. Financial smartness is there, but financial habit is not there. So they know all instruments, what's the percentage returns they will be getting, what's the so the answer is Jeevan Akshay for immediate pension. And so these millennials are having information about instruments, risk involved, tenure of instruments, the percentage of yield they will be getting, but the financial habit is not there. So they have not yet started saving for that matter. Or still because the expenditure are also visible, loud, clear, tempting. So more of expenses are there, less of saving is there. So they are also following the same path what our generation or generation before have done. Income minus saving is equal to expenses, and millions are also following income minus expenses, and whatever is left is there for savings. So that habit has to be inculcated. It's not the financial knowledge alone, it's financial habit also will help you to become rich, for financial independence for that matter.
Okay, we have spoken about senior citizens and the younger generation. What about the in-between generation? What would your advice be to this set of people to build long-term wealth? The people in the 40s and the 50s, 30s,
Yeah,
40s, 50s.
nice question. So, we need wealth for my child higher education. I need wealth to repay my home loan or do the down payment for home loan. I need wealth for my child's marriage, but I need income for retirement because I am creating these many wealths. I am creating wealth for retirement, and it's visible, clear. People in old age are suffering because of the wealth. Today's wealth will become liability tomorrow. You won't be able to manage if you are getting rental income, or if your major chunk is coming from equities, where your labor is involved to check the NAVs or to divert the funds or switch the funds or to scripts, then you'll be having problem, because today you can get 65, 75, 80, no problem. Reaching after 80, 85, you won't be able to generate income from this. And when the intention is to get income, why even you think of creating wealth? Because by default, whatever you are doing, knowingly, unknowingly, you are just creating wealth. Your PF is creating wealth, your PPF is creating wealth, your gratuity is creating wealth, your fixed deposit is creating wealth, your equities are creating wealth, your SIPs are creating wealth, your bonds or your RBI bonds are creating wealth. So have income also in your portfolio. For retirement, please create income. And the options of tax-free income, guaranteed tax-free income, sovereign guaranteed tax-free income for your life is available today. And rate of interest is also high. We are offering, LIC itself is offering 8% tax-free of sum assured throughout of your life guaranteed income. Today we are having this opportunity. Probably after 3 months, 4 months in 2021, we probably won't be having, because rate of interest are coming down. So till when these companies also will be able to offer you, because we are not giving you now, we are giving you after 15, 20 years. So that investment versus returns ratio has to be managed. So before this rate of interest comes down, why don't you start investing towards creation of income? Again, at the cost of reputation, I'm telling you, don't need wealth for retirement. You need income for retirement. So please create income, because moment you will convert wealth into income post retirement, it will become taxable. So that means you are planning to pay tax post retirement. NPS is one instrument which people have started investing, but only thing in NPS is you are designing to pay tax post retirement. So you're getting extra tax benefit today when you're earning. So it's a honey trap. Today when you're earning, you are saving to get tax saved. But tomorrow when you will stop earning, you will have to pay tax. That will be pretty painful. Today we are not realizing the pinch of income tax because huge flow of income is coming. Imagine a scenario at the age of 65, 70, you are still paying taxes on the income what you are receiving. And that will happen because NPS is taxable. Any pension in books of accounts is treated as income. It will be taxable. So we have option to design a tax-free income post-retirement. Have a glance on it. It will definitely help you in those times when paying tax will be tough call. And it will be bleeding big time. The portfolio itself will be bleeding because by 80, 85, mostly wealth would have been half or less than half. That time income will be helping because that will be a labor-free, automatic, sovereign guaranteed income. So it will remain intact. And that will be till your age of 100.
Thanks, Vishesh. That's all I had. Jaya, now hand it over to you to take it forward.
There were a few questions.
Jaya, I'll ask those questions.
Sure.
Jaya, I think we'll be asking those questions, or we will open it up for the general people to ask questions.
Sure.
One or two, you just intervened, no, when Asha Lata ji was asking that which is the name of the retirement fund.
So the first question, could you repeat the name of retirement fund? Jeevan Shanti and Jeevan Akshay. Jeevan Akshay is an immediate pension. It starts from very next month or next quarter or half or year. And Jeevan Shanti is deferred pension. You can defer it for minimum 1 year, maximum 12 years or 15 years with new Jeevan Shanti. And essential to move from income expenses saving part income saving expenses. This is what all is expected to us. Nice information. Sir. Okay, thanks. Yeah,
Ravni is saying nice information, sir.
thank you.
Okay, so till the time people keep putting in some more questions, let me thank you for that informative session that you gave us. All the things that you mentioned about retirement and how this is not a luxury, it's the basic need. And of course, all of us are going to retire. If not retire, there is going to come a point where we don't want to do too much of man hour working. We want to sit back, relax, and now enjoy whatever it is that we have earned so far. So for that to come into perspective, I think it is important and very essential to understand the dynamics of retirement, investment, and how money can grow money, so that we have a bit of comfortable lifestyle once we are done with a lot of grind of the work. So I'm sure all will agree to this, and thank you so much, Vishesh, for giving us this masterpiece knowledge to understand how and where we can plan our future. So with that, I would like people to put in some questions if you might have for Vishesh, if there's anything you might like to mention. Vidhi says, thank you. Yes, thank you, Vidhi, for attending. And we can take a few questions for about 10 to 12 minutes and then any further questions. So Krishna Kumar ji says, any recommendation for a 61-year-old, Vishesh?
Hi, Krishna Kumar. Yes, the Pareto theory, which says 20% of your workforce will give you 80% result, and 80% of workforce will help you and will give you 20% result. So over here also in investment, 80% of their investment or their wealth should be infused in lifetime guaranteed pension. And with 20% of the funds should be infused, or the income for that matter. Again, allow me to rephrase the sentence. 80% of their income should be coming from a guaranteed pension for lifetime. 20% of their income should be coming from either mix of rental income or post office MIS, that is short-term investment, or Pradhan Mantri Vaya Vandana Yojana, or fixed deposits, or any other short-term instruments. So 80% should be freeze when they can't enjoy the principal. They should be just getting income for rest of the life for the person, and then later on to spouse throughout of her life. With LIC, we have Jeevan Akshay, which will start from very next month. And if you want to defer for one, with 61 age, I believe Jeevan Akshay will be the best, because pension comes immediately.
What are the plans, schemes to get tax-free income? Please name the schemes. Mr. Jagannath Rao wants to know.
So with this, there are schemes available. They are with LIC. We have a mix of policies. So we tell them that they are usually known as non-taxable pension plans. These are mix of number of policies. But this is for the age group younger, when you can defer the pension for 15 years, 20 years, or 12, 13 years. I mean, minimum is 15 to 12 years. After that, only you will get the pension. This will be tax-free pension.
Not for senior citizens.
Not for senior citizens. Senior citizen won't be able to wait for 15, 20 years. So for senior citizen, there is an immediate pension, which is called Jeevan Akshay.
But that is taxable, is it not?
Yeah, that is taxable. Yes. All pensions are taxable. So Jeevan Akshay, Jeevan Shanti will be taxable.
I hope that answers you. Thank you, Vishesh. And also, Mr. Krishna Kumar had put in an additional question. What happens to the amount deposited for the lifetime guarantee?
Amount comes to next generation. So there are options available when suppose if I invest, so I'll be getting throughout of my life. After my expiry, my spouse will enjoy the same pension throughout of her life. After her, total principal goes to next generation, my son or daughter.
I hope that answers you, Krishna Kumarji, and thank you, Vishesh, for that. Yeah, he says thank you. So, Anyone else who might like to ask any question? We have Vishesh here right for you. Vishesh, meanwhile that people keep asking questions, I would want to also understand that, of course, like you have already mentioned, that it is essential and it's the basic thing and it's not luxury. How important do you think is for people to compulsorily save some amount, and if they cannot have like an annual premium, if they manage to take out some monthly premium or minimum to minimum amount, especially at the young age of say 25 to maybe 30, 35, how effective is that? Or is it important to have a what do you say, twice a year premium, or that is better, or the monthly is also okay?
See, investment in any form is good because you are inculcating a habit which will be long lasting. So, inculcating habit of investment in any form, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly, that won't make a difference. But initiating the process is important.
I had heard that there is a difference between term investment and there is another kind of insurance, term insurance and some other kind of insurance. So, uh, is there something different, or as a layman, if I want to understand, how do I make that decision?
Term plan is when you are there is no return on investment. You pay some premium every year till the term is, suppose for till the age of 80. In these many years, if the person happen to expire, then huge sum assured will be paid back to the nominee so that they can maintain the same lifestyle. But in case nothing happens, they won't be getting any return on investments. Or as Premraj sir rightly said, okay, they have some policies which when you will get your principal premium paid back. So in these many years, whatever premium you have paid, that will come back to you. There won't be any return on investments. And other investment plans there are different investment plans for different financial goals. Suppose you want to invest for your child's higher education, so you can create wealth, tax-free wealth from insurance. There are policies available for funding your child's higher career path. Then there are investment when you can design wealth for your child's marriage. Then there are plans which can help you to design a labor-free, tax-free income post-retirement.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, Shravani says, can I have this webinar recording, please? Yes, Shravani, will be putting it up on the YouTube channel, and we will have it sent to you. I mean, the link will be sent to you. You can have a look at that. Krishna Kumarji has sent me, I think privately by mistake or what, he says, a 50 lakh deposit by a 61-year-old will give 4 lakh taxable income for that person for lifetime or per year? He's asking that.
I will have to check the figures. I'm not sure which instrument he's talking about. So Krishna, can I connect to you offline?
Yeah, I think you must connect with him, and I'm sure that Vishesh will agree that any questions that anybody has here, and if we are not able to take it just now, we can connect with Vishesh, and if you will connect with any of us, we will give you his number so he can answer all your questions, and you can consult with him for sure. Ashalata ji is saying, any suggestions for people working in private sector since they will not be eligible for company pension? Annuity payouts are fixed. How can we factor in inflation in our retirement days?
Ma'am, you should have two things for your retirement. One is mediclaim and pension, definitely. And more or less, inflation won't affect us. It doesn't affect us directly. I will tell you how. To give an example, if petrol price have increased by 3%, inflation, that is in 2019 versus 2020, I'm just throwing a figure, 3% inflation, but I personally have moved from bike and I have purchased a car. Now my bike was giving me 35 mileage, but my car is giving me 10 as a mileage. So inflation has affected me. Can I say petrol inflation affected me by 3%? No. So inflation affects us with the increase in salary and lifestyle. it directly don't affect us with the figures which are floated around in social media or in news, because that inflation is calculated in wholesale price index, and we believe and we deal with retail price index. So anyway, directly inflation doesn't hit us. It will hitting us very nominally, but in large, it only depends on our lifestyle and our expenses.
Can I, can I
Yes,
ask?
Am I
doctor.
clear?
I just
Yes, sir.
Yes,
want
sir.
to add. See, in general, this is what maybe I'm making a sweeping statement. Pardon me for that. See, we get to think about or start thinking about this financial planning only after I get into a job. But when I'm see if this habit or about knowledge about finance, I'm not talking about commerce students who do some finance subjects. In general, if this can be brought in at a very early age, people will become more smart.
True.
So,
Agreed,
Agree
sir.
with you. Agree with you. Yes. We should be looking at from the school level itself.
from
There
the
should
school
be some
level,
basic knowledge should be imparted. I
yes.
agree with you.
Uh,
Does any of
So
the art?
I just want to add this. See, when I was in seventh standard or something like that, bank people came and made us open SB accounts. Those days, SB account opening was for 1 rupee or 2 rupees. I'm talking about 60s. See, it is not the amount, but the habit. Okay, that seed was sown. So,
True.
some such thing can be done.
sir, I have taken the initiative. I have realized it. So I have taken an initiative. I
Thank
started my own YouTube channel where I every week I give fresh financial tips. Usually on the intention behind sharing the financial tips is to inculcate habit of investment.
Good. That's
So
nice.
channel name is Vishesh Chaturvedi. You can just type on YouTube and you will get the financial tips.
Thank you so much. Bye.
And one more thing, the previous question about the retirement inflation. So, ma'am, 20% of the funds which you will be investing, 80% will be in fixed guaranteed income. 20% will help you to beat inflation, because you will be beating inflation to meet your luxurious life. Basic necessities are guaranteed. And higher the age we grow, medical expenses will be uh, taking a spike. Usually, otherwise, lifestyle expenses won't be that high. So 20% of that will help you to beat inflation. So you can invest in equities, SIPs, direct equities. You can take risk on that particular portion of your portfolio, that is 20%. So there are a lot of instruments which are short-term instrument or risky instruments which will be coming under this 20%, which will help you to beat inflation. Rest 80% shouldn't be touched. It should be blindly invested in a guaranteed lifetime guaranteed pension, not a short-term guaranteed pension. Because if you invest in bonds which are giving you fixed return or bit high return for 15 or 20 years, imagine at the age of 80, if you're getting principal after 20 years back in your hands, where you will invest, what will be the rate of interest? I mean, you'll be in a big financial stress, because after 20 years, we can't imagine the rate of interest. 7 years back, it was 8.5%. Today, it is 5.5%. I'm talking 20 years down the line, I give you the big chunk of your principal, of your wealth, and next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, you have to live with that. So where you will invest, what rate of interest you'll be investing. So you will be getting into unnecessary financial stress. So keep that 20% to play around to in small term instruments or risky instrument, but freeze 80% so that you don't have any financial stress post retirement.
Thanks, Vishesh. I hope that answers Mr. Rao.
Yes, thank you.
Mrs.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So she's also typing in thank you, and she says earlier the norm was to save and buy. Today it is buy today and pay tomorrow. This puts the younger generation in a fix, which leaves them with little with little for retirement planning. Yeah, that's so true. Krishna Kumar ji says, what if LIC goes for disinvestment?
Yeah, that is true. It will be going definitely, because it's a ATM machine for Indian government. Disinvestment is not happening because LIC is not doing good, but LIC is doing exceptionally good. So what government is doing? LIC is having sovereign guarantee. That means anything happens on earth, if LIC go bankrupt, whatever happens, central government of India is liable to pay you in cash. That is section 37 of parliament, which is being passed long back when LIC was formed. So there is a sovereign guarantee, and with this investment, anyhow, because we have sovereign guarantee and 5% stake is of government of India. So every year we pay some 1,000 crores of rupees to government of India. That is just 5% of our profit, though we are non-profit making organization. What government is doing? Government is planning to give this 10% of this 5% as a disinvestment policy to public. So they'll be earning good amount, but it will be beneficial for our investors also, because suppose you have invested in this particular policy. So whatever profit this particular policy is generating, you'll be getting portion of that profit in form of bonuses. But there might be other policies who are also generating equally. You won't be able to take a pie from that. But when it comes for disinvestment and you are buying the shares, so you will be getting overall profit pie. So the return on investment from there also you're getting, and that is without long-term commitment, what LIC is known for, the regular commitment to pay premium for 10-15 years. So that will be also giving, if you're purchasing shares, you'll be getting profit pie from there also, and whatever investment you have done with LIC, from there also you'll be getting good bonuses.
Yeah, I think he already
sorry,
mentioned
but
that
sovereign guarantee still remains same after disinvestment also.
that's what he had mentioned below, whether sovereign guarantee still runs. So I hope that also answers in this.
Yep.
Mr. Jagannath again just mentions here, maybe 20 years down the line, we have to pay the bank, financial institutions. Who knows? So yeah, that
I couldn't get this question.
I think, no, he's made a comment that now there is, so you want to say, or can I?
The interest rates have come down. They are
Sure,
coming
sure.
down.
One day we will pay.
Yeah.
My money, maybe I have to pay you.
No, exactly. That will be happening, sir. In developed economies like Japan, it is there. If you pump in ₹1 lakh for 1 year, after 1 year, you'll be getting 99,500 only, or 99,000. They are charging you money to keep your money safe.
Maybe we'll reach the stage.
Possibly. So we'll be very much developed economy. That's good for us overall. Otherwise.
Thank you.
Right. So yes, so that was indeed a very, very informational session, Vishesh, and all the questions so far have been answered. And as I said, that any more questions, people can get in touch with us or you to take any offline consultation or questions. I'm sure we'll be happy to help. So in that sense, people, you can send your questions to us, or we can connect you to Vishesh if there might be a need. With that, I would want to thank, first of all, Vishesh for, giving us this 1 hour of tremendous information. And I'm so glad that you came here and you spoke about this, because your knowledge is so tremendous that today I'm happy that I'm your client and I have, trusted you for investing my money. So thank you for that, first of all. Thank you, each one of you, for being here with us for 1 hour, for being so interactive, asking such valuable questions that have added more value. So for each of us who are laymen and we don't understand the the lingos of maybe insurance and all, it made things more clear. So thank you, audience. And thank you very much, Premraj ji. I don't know how to thank you enough for the series that you're doing and the way you carry this with such beautiful flow and such, you make it so interesting for people. And I think that is why it is so popular. So thank you, each one of you. And before we wind up, I will, put this across again to Premraj ji. Over to you. Let's wind this up and tell everybody that we are happy.
Thank you, Jaya, for inviting
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here with Power Up. And Vishesh, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me over here, sir.
Yeah. Money is what makes the world go round. Insurance should be an integral part of one's financial management. You have given us a ringside view about it and enhanced our knowledge. Thank you for the knowledge share. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, sir. Good
And
night.
tomorrow we come back with another series wherein we will be having a High Court lawyer as a celebrity guest.
Wow.
Same time tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you very much and good night.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you, Vishesh. And yes,
Thank
we'll
you.
stay in touch. Thank you, everybody. Good night. See you soon.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you and good night.